1033 Intermediate Algebra, Chapter 2, Section 3. Alright, so this deals with formulas. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to use algebraic skills to manipulate a formula to be able to solve it for a different variable. First of all, the definition of a formula says that it's one variable on one side by itself. So you can see that as example 1, V equals LWH is a formula. Question's asking us, we don't want V, we want H. So what happens here, you'll see I've circled the H. The reason I've circled the H is I'm reminding myself that that's what I want to get by itself. If I look at what L and W are doing to the H, they're multiplying. So I'm going to divide by LW on both sides. Remember, golden rule of algebra. Got to do what I do to one side, got to do to the other. And thus I've solved the problem. H equals V over LW. Come to example 2. Now you're going to see these a lot. These are taking standard form, which is where x and y are on the same side, and putting it in its slope-intercept form where y is on one side by itself. So in this example 2, we have a formula, 3y minus 2x equals 7, and we're trying to solve for y. So the first thing I do is add the 2x over to the other side. Then I'm going to divide by the 3, and you will see that I have 2x plus 7 divided by 3, which is a correct answer, but it's not the preferred answer. What I'm going to do is move this 3 underneath the 2 and the 3 underneath the 7. Now I have y equals 2/3 x plus 7/3, which is in slope-intercept form. 2/3 is my slope. Look at that. 7/3 is my y-intercept. Coming over here to example 3, and notice again, I circle the variable I'm trying to get by itself because it helps me see what's attached to it and how I need to get rid of it. Coming over here, example 3, we have a equals 1/2 times big B plus little b in parentheses times h. We're solving for little b. Well, before I can even look at little b, I got to get rid of this 1/2 and this h. By getting rid of what's outside the parentheses, I get rid of the parentheses, then I can deal with it. So in order to get rid of 1/2, I'm going to multiply both sides by 2. So now I get 2a equals parentheses big B plus little b times h. H is multiplying times the parentheses, so I'm going to divide. So now I'm at 2a divided by h equals big B plus little b. Notice because I've gotten rid of everything outside the parentheses, I can drop the parentheses. So now I can subtract big B. Now I've got my answer. 2a over h minus big B equals little b. This is problem number 16, page 75. I just wanted to show you this one because this is a technique that you're going to have to use in terms of solving these sometimes. We have s equals 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi r h. Notice we're solving for h. Notice also we have 2 pi r in both terms. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to factor 2 pi r out. Now I got 2 pi r times parentheses r plus h. Because the 2 pi r is multiplying times parentheses, I'm going to divide it. Then I can subtract little r, and I've solved this problem. S over 2 pi r minus r equals h. Another problem you're going to have to deal with in this section deals with the formula for compound interest. Notice the formula for compound interest. A means the amount. P is the principal, which means the beginning money you're starting out with. R is the rate, which is always in a decimal. N is the number of times per year. N can only be 5 different values. It can be 1 for annually, 2 for semi-annually, 4 for quarterly, 12 for monthly, 365 for daily. That's the only 5 values that N can be. And then T, of course, is in time, which is in years. And you can see all this right here. This is on page 73 of your textbook. Okay? Basically, these problems are not very difficult because you read the problems and you stick the numbers where they're supposed to go in the formula. Like, for instance, this one says Karen Estes just received an inheritance of $10,000 and plans to place all the money and a savings account that pays 5%. So $10,000 is my principal, goes in place of P. 5%, which is 0.05, goes in place of my R. Compounded quarterly. Quarterly means 4, so 4 goes in place of N and N. And it's going to be to help her son go to college in 3 years. So the time is 3 years. So 3 goes in place of T. So if you look at this right here, here's the numbers in their particular variable spots. We just do the math. Notice what they did was they did 3 times 4, which gave them 12 to the 12th power. They divided 0.05 by 4, then added it to 1, got here. Now they're raising that to the 12th power. Now they multiply. And you can see that at the end of 3 years, at this 5% interest, that $10,000 is going to be $11,607.55. So these problems here, these are word problems, but they're just basically dealing with you knowing where to plug the numbers in the formula and then just doing the math.